Many thanks for staying tuned. In case I just joining us, this is the end that comes to you every day of the week from Mondays through Fridays. This is the Wednesday edition, and of course, we're happy to be here again. Our guests are already with us this morning. There are two fine gentlemen, because from the Kwara State Internal Revenue Service, we are going to be discussing the activities of that service once again. At my far right is Mr. Shehu Abdullah, is the Director of Legal and Compliance, KWRS. Good morning, thank you for joining us.
Good morning everyone.
And of course, my immediate right is Mohammed Yusman, the Director of Income Tax, KWRS. Good morning, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning. Thanks for having us. And good morning to our viewers.
Good morning. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you, madam.
All right, thank you very much. Let's go on to some other issues. Now there have been complaints, from the populace that I'm coming to you, Director of Income Tax, that especially the informal sector, that they get to be charged more than 1,500, more than 3,000, per annum. Let's start even with the Okada riders, 50 every day times 365 days. That's lots of money, Yes, it is. It is. It's more than 3,000 naira. Okay. I don't know.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's look at the background of the so-called 1,500, 3,000. Who says you should be paying 1,500, or who says you should be paying 3,000? That is just based on what we call presumptive tax regime. Attaching people on presumptive tax assessment. Basically, the normal process is for you to come to the table. You should have your records intact. You understand? Your records to show what are your sales, what are your expenses. So at the end of the day, you understand? We cannot know what you're supposed to pay. Nobody, as a service, I don't personally, nobody really likes to tax anybody on just what we call best of judgment. And why do you do that? Because there are no records. And that is what gave back to the presumptive tax regime. And of course, the national tax policy also says that it has an advantage because it sort of helped to improve the tax system, by encouraging compliance. Just like you bring in more people, you can identify those people that are not already in the tax state. That is the first reason. Bringing them, identifying them, and bringing them in. And then the second item now is to ensure they pay the right tax. That is the whole idea about presumptive tax assessment. We are all after, nobody wants to make sure nobody wants to, like what you have done, the analysis you have done, it's not my own. The law says I should be fair to each and everyone, I should be fair to myself too. Nobody wants you to pay beyond what you are paying. So the onus lies on you as a taxpayer. We must go to a stage now that we must appreciate that it is our responsibility, a civic and a legal responsibility, to ensure that we keep a record, no matter the lowest records you can keep.
How do you achieve that? The informal sector, they hardly keep records.
That is why we're here. That's what the education we're doing now. You keep your records. Do you understand? Keep your records. When you keep your records and we come and ask, okay, these are the income, this is the expense. We net it off, give you whatever the exemption is. You agree with me. This 1,500, 3,000 have been on the field. It does not really justify what most people pay. We understand. We see people with sort of, what that allows us first of all is to benchmark. If you don't have records, we look at the kind of volume you are doing. Look at someone that is also doing that kind of volume. Do you understand? We look at that person that has records. What is he paying? And then we benchmark and you'll be able to pay that. Now, what we've been able to do with presumptive tax assessment is, first of all, to identify people, bring them in, add the data. But nobody wants to tell you to pay what you're not supposed to pay. That is why we go the extra mile to say, okay, what are you actually supposed to pay? And one thing that we should also appreciate here is that either we like it or not, we must pay our taxes. It's a legal right. If you look at it, the constitution, my guy is the director of legal, we'll talk more about that. So what are we talking about now? Presumptive tax assessment system. So what people should be alive to their responsibilities, and then of course to also know their rights, how the law also protects them. If you look at Section 44 of the Personal Income Tax Act, which talks about self-assessment of individuals. It is there. It is your right to have those records. It's not just because I'm saying it is in the law. You must keep those records. And then you must declare by filling your forms rightly that, okay, these are what I've earned, and then based on that, what you're supposed to pay. And then if you go further to Section 46, also says, if you have done the right thing and paying the right amount, you are even supposed to be given a bonus of 1% of your tax payment. It's there in the law. So let people do the right thing by first of all ensuring that they keep their records. They declare, whatever they're supposed to earn, and pay at the right time, and also enjoy what the law also gives back to them. I'm talking about the informal sector department because it's also something I have passion for, which I always say. The 1.5 is just a policy to be able to bring people in, first of all. And then if you can actually establish that you don't earn up to this by keeping records, what do you do? And then maybe you will not even pay.
So everything the 1.5, 3,000 is even small.
It's small.
Per annum.
It's a year. We're talking about a year, 12 months, 365 days. You know what you're earning. Don't go and look at what you're paying. What you're paying per month. You have some traders out there. They make millions every day. And you know the irony, they want to hide under this presumptive tax system. They hide under tribal associations or whatever. And then they want to say they want to pay 1.5. Somebody that will see, because what the personal income tax says is that it's all your total remuneration, it's all your income that your group, as long as you're resident in Nigeria, is the global income from what the businesses you make that needs to be captured in assessing whatever you're supposed to pay. So people cannot hide under presumptive tax system for them not to pay what they're supposed to pay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Usman. Let me go to Mr. Shehu Abdullahi, the Director, Legal and Compliance of KWIRS. Yes, we do know that we have to pay our taxes. There's no way we can avoid it. But let's take a look at the fact that I, as an individual, have come to you and tell you that, okay, this is my income. I've declared it. But I also explained to you that I have so much commitment. Maybe I have 4 wives, maybe I have extended family that I have to take care of. Can I negotiate with you and be like, okay, can I just pay half of my tax? Can I pay quarter of it? Can I pay? Is there a way that we can negotiate? Just to make me have a soft landing.
Okay, thank you very much. You see, the problem with Nigerians is that we observe the rules more in breach than in compliance. You see, once you have declared your income, you have foreclosed negotiation. Because once you declare, assessment will be done. And once assessment is done, they will apply the necessary tax rate. And the amount you have to pay, they will give it to you. Now, I'm talking about negotiation. That will only come in when you are objecting in court. The assessment given to you.
Okay.
You are objecting. Okay. And if you object, God helps you. If your objection is favorable, you get a reduction. But we have seen instances where, even after you write objection, we still review upward.
Really?
Because the objection, like I said, has to be empirical. It has to be scientific. It's just I'm objecting. You have to adduce reasons, reasonable and convincing reasons to warrant us reducing that amount. So once you have declared, like I said, this is my income, I'm earning 2 million, for example. So the director of income and the assessment people will apply the necessary rate to the income you declared.
Okay. And
once you declare and they have assessed and they give you a rate, so you can now negotiate how you will pay.
Okay.
So there is no controversy any longer. We have all agreed that, okay, this is your tax pay 2 million, for example. Okay, I can't afford 2 million at a blow. Let me pay 1 million. Then subsequently, you draw a payment plan. Okay. We agree to that.
Within a year.
Well, it depends on the amount. If the amount is, because we have had instances where an institution negotiated the payment plan for us for 1 year, but that we are talking about 32 million. It's reasonable if you can accord. But if you are to pay 1 million and you are telling us 1 year, no.
Why not?
Wow.
1 million. How much is 1 million?
Well, it depends on the individual or the company.
Well, let's see. One cab does not fit up.
I'm talking about the issue of 4 wives. Let me. Some of us are polygamous.
I just said that.
Yeah, okay. No, the law actually has that woman face. Yes. I just want to come in there. And in the past, they used to give you a recognized number of wives, maximum number of children. Yes. But what the law has now done is, because it's not fair to those people that do not even have children. So what the law has done now is to have to give you a consolidated relief allowance and give you an amount of what to pay. And normally the tax rate you pay, of course, ranges from 7%, depending on the tax base, to 24%, and then on average rate it's like 19%. But if you actually look at all these exempt and these allowances we're giving, what we call the effective tax rate now falls between 5 to 6%. So if the government is now saying you should pay 5 to 6% of whatever your income, I think it's very fair in this country. We have some countries that their effective tax rate is as high as 60%. Yes. So please, whatever we're practicing in this country today, I think is fair to our people. And one of the reasons why we're always here is to continue to talk to our people. That you just have to have that paradigm shift and have this change of heart that you will not pay taxes. You have to. It's compulsory.
All right, so let's go to our languages desk where Suleiman Amuda is standing. I'm still going to come to the director legal. I have more, hot questions for you because I know that you. That would warm me. All right, but let's go to Suleiman Amuda. He's standing by.
Okay. Tí bá ti bá wa fi ọkàn tèmi ara bá abala yìí bọ̀ wá. Àwọn iléeṣẹ́ tó wà pẹ̀lú wa, iléeṣẹ́ tí a mọ̀ sí KWIRS ni pé àwọn iléeṣẹ́ tó ń gba owó orí nípínlẹ̀ yìí fún ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara. Àwa ní àwọn èèyàn méjì ṣàǹkóṣàǹkó láti ilé-iṣẹ́ náà. Kí n kọ́kọ́ orúkọ tí wọ́n ní Shehu Abdullahi tí wọ́n jẹ́ olùdarí lẹ́ka òfin àti bí àwọn ènìyàn ṣe ń gba gbogbo ẹ̀ mọ́ra sí pápá òfin àti ohun tí ó dé nílé iṣẹ́ náà. Mr. Shehu Abdullahi ẹ̀ka àròlé kan sí. Bákan náà níka ogun apọ̀ ọ̀hún orúkọ tí wọ́n ní Muhammad Usman tí wọ́n jẹ́ olùdarí lórí bí owó orí ṣe ń wọlé sí ní iléeṣẹ́ KWIRS. Ìwà mọ̀ bóyá àwọn lè sọ Yorùbá. Mr. Shabda jẹ́ kí mọ̀ pé ẹ lè sọ dáadáa.
Irọ́ ló ń pa ọ́. Ẹ̀fẹ̀ ká àwọn ará ilé wọn fi ṣẹ̀lẹ̀ láàárọ̀ yìí.
Kí wọ́n sọ yóò.
Ajá náà la need. Okay, kí a ṣe báyìí, ẹ ti sọ ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ kí n kọ́kọ́ gbé láti ìkágùn mi bí báyìí torí mọ̀ pé pàtàkì tẹ́ fi wà lórí ètò òun náà ni láti jẹ́ kí àwọn ará ìlú kan mójúṣe KWIRS káwọn náà sì mójúṣe ara wọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ yìí láti ṣe tó yẹ kó tọ́ nípasẹ̀ sísanwó orí fún ìjọba. tó táwa wo ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara tóbi, àwọn tó tẹ̀ ń ṣiṣẹ́ bẹ́ẹ̀ oríṣiríṣi ni wọ́n, àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ọwọ́, àwọn tó ń ṣe káràkátà, àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ ìjọba. Ara àwọn kan tí wọ́n fẹ́ máa gègé pé owó orí èmi ò rò pé màá san. Ǹjẹ́ òfin tó fi ara mọ́ wà láti rí wípé ìjìyà wà fún àwọn tó bá jẹ́ pé wọn kò fẹ́ máa sanwó orí fún ìjọba?
Ẹ ṣe bẹ́ẹ̀ yẹn bá ní òun gègé àwọn náà mi gègé.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ Ronaldo lẹ́yìn náà.
Wọ́n bá bọ̀.
In fact, ṣe tó dájú ni pé ká fi òtítọ́ bára wa lò. Lánàá a wà ní House of Assembly fún kíláàdé wà fún a fi pé àwọn òfin kan bẹ tó jẹ́ pé a ní láti tún wọn sí níbi àwọn òfin wa. À ń tàrẹ ròǹbẹ̀ gan ni pé láti tún mú ìdẹ̀kùn bá wọn tó ń san owó orí. About 6 sections nínú law wa la gbé lọ sí house pé kan tó bá wa wọ́n mi sí kó tó fi lè dẹ̀ díẹ̀. So ara àwọn ojúṣe tìjọba nìyẹn. Kì í ṣe pé kákan máa gba owó agbọ́dọ̀ tó máa kókò lóye owó tá a fẹ́ gbà ó sì máa rọrùn fáwọn aráàlú. And ó dùn mọ́ mi láti sọ fún yín pé pẹ̀lú proceeding tó lọ ní house lánàá rí pé àwọn ìbéèrè wa látọ̀dọ̀ àwọn house láti pé kí wọ́n bá wa dẹ àwọn òfin yẹn fáwọn aráàlú máa wọlé. Àkọ́kọ́ nìyẹn. Ẹ̀kejì ni pé enlightenment làwọn aráàlú need. Ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọ́n feel pé ìjọba lọ́kọ̀ gbọ́dọ̀ ṣe nǹkan fáwọn káwọn tó sanwó orí ètò òfin ò gbé kalẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀.
òfin ò gbé kalẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ bó lòfin ṣe gbé kalẹ̀.
òfin gbé kalẹ̀ ni pé bó o bá ti di pé o ní owó tó ń wọlé fẹ́ níbi òwò rẹ̀ o gbọ́dọ̀ sanwó orí. tó ìjọba ló wá ní kí wọ́n wo pé owó orí tẹ́ ẹ san yìí níbo la máa ná sí.
tí wọ́n ló fi jẹ àǹfààní.
àti recent estate I won't mention the estate nílẹ̀ yìí náà wọ́n lọ gba land charge níbẹ̀. àánú land charge wọlé fẹ́ gbà lọ́wọ́ wa bọ́tà wa ò dáa títí ò dáa àlómi àṣekínní lọ́dọ̀ òṣìṣẹ́ KWR sàn pé it's a misplaced sentiment. àwọn fẹ́ gbowó orí ni if you have complaints nípa omi ìjọba ní ministry tó wà responsible fún yẹn níta kan lè ṣe ni pé gbogbo àwọn ẹ̀dùn ọkàn yẹn a lè ṣe advocacy fún wọn because àwa la máa face àwọn ló tó ń gbowó eré so tá bá ti gbọ́rù nǹkan báyẹn àwa ń tì ní pé ká lọ ṣe advocacy lọ́dọ̀ àwọn relevant ministry pé ẹ wá ní àdúgbò báyìí o ìyá nǹkan báyìí jẹ wọn so àwọn náà fi lè fi síbi budget wọn because bẹ́ẹ̀ bá náà bá gbọ́ immediately they can't do it níta kan lè ṣe ni pé okay bẹ́ẹ̀ next year budget wọn ó yóò jẹ́ nǹkan tí wọ́n prioritize fún government so àwọn aráàlú gbọ́dọ̀ mọ̀ pé owó eré ó yàtọ̀ sí ojúṣe ìjọba kì í ṣe pé ojúṣe ìjọba lọ́kọ́kọ́ máa wá síwájú kọ́kọ́ ṣe tiẹ̀ náà
wọ́n sọ ojúṣe
tiẹ̀ náà tẹ̀hẹ́n ìjọba náà wá ṣe ojúṣe tiwọn so bó ti lọ nìyẹn.
àwọn tí wọ́n wá rí wípé ẹ wo gẹ́gẹ́ bí àpẹẹrẹ ìsìn bóyá kí n mú báyìí kí n ti ṣe bóyá ṣe bí ọ̀kadà kí n fi mú ṣe àpá àwọn ọlọ́kadà kan wà tó jẹ́ pé kì í ṣe ìlú Ìlọrin náà ń gbé tí lè bá mọ́ wọn á dájú wá sílùú láti ibi tán gbé wọn wá ṣiṣẹ́
kò jìnnà sí lórí ṣá
kódà aráhùn tó wá láti neighboring town neighboring village tó súnmọ́ Ìlọrin tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n wá ṣiṣẹ́ bí pé Ìlọrin jẹ́ gbòòrò wọ́n wá ṣiṣẹ́ ọ̀kadà tílẹ̀ bá ti tẹ̀ ń sún wọ́n tún padà ilẹ̀ yìí náà ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ ni wọ́n dẹ̀ ti ń pawó wọlé ṣé iléeṣẹ́ yín ń rí ọ̀nà àti rí owó gbà lọ́wọ́ àwọn gẹ́gẹ́ bí owó àbáwọn lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ sí àti irú àwọn tí mò ń sọ yìí.
tán lọ àwọn ló rọrùn jù sẹ́wọ̀n kí mo ní bí àmì sàtúnṣe ló sọ ń gbà kan pé àwọn kan máa ń dá àwọn ọlọ́kadà dúró lójijì tí wọ́n gba owó lọ́wọ́ wọn wọn ò fẹ́ mọ bí tó ti wá ọba wà láti sánmọ̀ tó bá ti di pé òun gun ọ̀kadà ní Ìlọrin that's why it is daily collection wọ́n dẹ̀ ti láwọn joint àwọn náà ti mọ bí joint àti máa mú wọn mọ́lẹ̀ mbẹ́ you see what we only do ni pé we provide ticketing model fún wọn to feel easy for collection wọn náà ni and we operate through their associations àwọn association náà wà ti ní agent àwọn boys tẹ̀ ní tán gbowó yẹn agent association ni wọn and on daily basis they get paid for whatever tó bá gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn so ti yẹn báyìí so wọn àdéhùn the way tá a fi audit wọn ni pé if we release 10,000 tickets for example na tó dẹ̀ ní counterfeit so ti yín báyìí tí kò bá tán wọn lè wá gba omi lọ́wọ́ wa àwọn náà dẹ̀ ti design method kan colour kan lò pọ̀ so wọ́n lè lo blue lẹ́nu kan lo pink lọ́la tó tàn pa àwọn ọmọ kúrú ni wọ́n bá blue náà bá ń lò lókè bá ti flash blue bá tàn kò ní dúró kan flash ẹ̀ báyìí wọ́n á rí pé blue náà no pink ni tàbí so gbogbo tí wọ́n ń lò fúnra wọn nìyẹn so kò sí gbogbo tó bá ń gbé tó fi lè escape owó orí sísan ni pé má wá sí inú ìgboro. But our local government yẹn náà because the association has branches in the local government so wọ́n gbà níbẹ̀ na as far as Baruti so ti ẹ bá because ticketing model wa because we have area offices in all the local governments so our area coordinator wa wọ́n ní segment fún ticketing ọ̀kadà.
Kí n lọ sí ọ̀dọ̀ àlejò kejì torí nígbà tí àwọn akẹgbẹ́ mi béèrè ìbéèrè lọ́wọ́ yín mo gbọ́ wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ 1,500 wọ́n sọ̀rọ̀ 3,000 àlẹ́ tó jẹ́ pé ìmíràn fún àwọn kan lóòótọ́ wọ́n jẹ́ kí n mọ̀ pé lọ́dún 1,500 làwọn ń san àwọn oníṣẹ́ owó kan mo wá wò pé àwọn oníṣẹ́ owó tó lóun san 1,500 lọ́dún àmọ́ pé tó o bá gba iṣẹ́ ẹyọ kan ní iṣẹ́ ẹyọ kan gan-an o lè gba iṣẹ́ ẹyọ kan 10,000 naira ọjọ́ kan nìyẹn ká tó wá ní ká wò láàrin ọdún kan 1,500 3,000 wọ́n á kọ́ mi lóminú pé ọlọ́run ṣe àwọn KWRS máa ń wá sí ọ́fíìsì wa kí ni gbèdéke tí wọ́n ń gbé tó fi jọ pé 1,500 3,000 nírú àwọn oníṣẹ́ owó máa ń san lọ́dún ṣé bẹ́ẹ̀ ló ṣe rí àbí kò rí bẹ́ẹ̀.
ẹ ṣe gan ni sá 1,500 yẹn owó tó kéré jù tó ń gbọdọ̀ san ọ̀dọ́ wáyé san 1,500 kò mí pé wọn ò ní san 15 yẹn reason àti ìgbà ni pé káfíńrà yìí wọn wọnú lé records tax kàlẹ́ record pé àìní náà ó jẹ́ àwọn tó ń san tax tàbá gbọ́ wọlé tó san 15 yẹn tán á wà go for the á wà check records ẹ̀yìn tá a gba 15 lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ o kí ni owó tó ń wọlé fún kí ni expenses ẹ̀ èló ni income tó ń wọlé fún á wà wò tó wá ní ìpínpín san additional owó wọn san.
báwo lẹ yóò ṣe determine iye tó ń wọlé fẹ́ ní kọ̀ọ̀kan.
bẹ́ẹ̀ni òfin nǹkan tó fi wí ni pé ẹni individual tó ń san orí ó ní responsibility wo ló ní ó ní láti keep records because ọ̀rọ̀ taxation ọ̀rọ̀ law ni òfin dẹ̀ ni ó ní ètò tó bá jẹ́ ẹni tó ń san orí ó gbọ́dọ̀ ní records èló ló ń wọlé fún ẹ kó ní small cash book ẹ̀ wọ́n yẹ jẹ́ small register ni mo tajà báyìí èyí báyìí wọlé èyí báyìí mo ra ọjà èló ló jẹ́ profit mi báyìí tá bá wo records ni láwàdí ta ní nǹkan tó máa sọ but the problem ní sector tá à ń pè ní informal sector ni pé àwọn èèyàn wa tó wà ní informal sector wọn ò fẹ́ máa keep records àdéǹgbà wọn ní àmọ́ báyìí pé ó di dandan so that ní overtax kẹ́yìn náà dẹ̀ máa san less than nǹkan tó yẹ ká san fún ìjọba because tẹ́ẹ̀ bá ní records òfin gbà wá láàyè àti lo nǹkan tá à ń pè ní best of judgment assessment ká wò pé tábàbọ̀ tá a wọ store tá a wo stock tó wà ń bẹ̀ tá a rí stock tó ń lọ 20 million a rí building tó lásán tó rà wọ́n ló ní o tó ń wọ̀ tó bá 100 million wá fẹ́ san 15 kò lè work wá fẹ́ máa sápamọ́ lọ́dà one ethnic group kò lè work nǹkan tó fi wé ni pé issue of income tax is a personal thing really nǹkan tó bá ń wọlé fún ẹnì kan
torí tí mo
fún gbogbo àwọn exceptions allowances ní káfẹ́ kó lè san kótó ẹ̀.
Malama Muhammad Usman ẹ̀yìn tí mo fẹ́ bèrè ni pé ẹ ló dáa pé kó ní kálukú kó máa keep record tara ẹ̀ so that irú record yẹn ẹ̀yin lẹ́yìn máa ṣiṣẹ́ lé lórí lẹ́ẹ̀fì mọ iye tí tax ẹ̀ jẹ́ àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ kí ni ó fún wa ní ìdájú wípé record tán keep yẹn òótọ́ ni òótọ́ nígbà tán fi máa pa àwọn á dì pẹ̀lú KW rẹ̀ kí ẹ pé bóyá àwọn pẹ̀lú wọn.
First of all, Coach Koko keep records.
Coach
Koko keep records. Koko keep our evidence receipts.
You see, we have in recent time had to change the definition of informal sector because we have discovered that our people can. I want to come under the association of patient medicine.
Okay, I want
to talk. You know, say one fair good and say informal sector. They are not informal sector. We had meeting with them some times ago. The association came and they said they are informal sector, they have agreed to be payment 5. I said, no, look at your shop. The informal sector definition conservatively should deal with the iyaloja, the marketers, we all know the traders, the petty traders. But when you are a business, small business owner, you can't be an informal sector. And we told them that we have to assess you. You are not informal sector. So the recent thing is to restrict that definition of informal sector. So today, any ẹgbẹ́ lomi tó ní medicine store tó ń ta oògùn tó ń ta kíní wá lóhùn informal sector. What is informal about it? So today báyìí, so about the informal sector, àmọ́ táwọn ń pè ní informal sector. It is for us to do that. And in any case, because kì í ṣe pé the law that attached to personal income tax does not say informal sector can cause but income low address. It is the volume of your income that will determine whether it will be classified as an informal sector or presumptive tax.
Okay, iye tó ń wọlé fún ẹgbẹ́ bí èrè.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ni, àti volume business ẹ̀.
Bí bó ṣe gbòòrò sí.
Ó bá ń ta ẹ̀fọ́ tẹ́fọ́ yẹn bá ti di pé ó kún un bíbá yìí, ọkọ̀ sí informal sector mọ́.
Ká kọ́kọ́ mójú pọ̀ pé kì í ṣe ẹ̀fọ́ pé.
KWRs actually go on unscheduled assessments of taxpayers. You actually do that to ascertain if they're actually having certain amount of income or not. Do you actually do that at their workplaces, at their shops and all that?
There's a department under Director of Income Tax. We call it Tax Audit Department.
Okay.
So if we feel that there is a need for us to audit a particular firm, maybe we suspect some dubious or doctor record in what they submitted to us. We schedule the visit. We don't just go. We schedule it because we have to tell you the documents we are going to come out, and you must make those documents available. So because if you just go on schedule, you give us excuse that you don't know that we are coming.
Director Legal and Compliance, Mr.
What
Shua,
question?
you seem very passionate about payment of tax, but people might be seeing it as an aggression. So I have two questions for you. First is that from the local government, there are reports that the aggressive way of getting their own revenue, because of course they know that people might not want to yield. I've paid to state. Why am I paying for local government? They might not, taxpayers might not have that understanding. So the aggression is there. I was driving this morning. I saw the agents of this association of Okada. He was attending to somebody. He just saw one Okada rider speeding and just he just went straight there, plugged his way, and he was just going backwards with his legs. He doesn't even know what is behind him, just because there's an aggression. He wants to get that money by fire, by force. So is this what KWS is doing to aggression? You are passionate, but people might see it as an aggressive way.
Oh, it's a different words. When you are passionate about your profession,
You spoke highly passionate now.
yes,
But when it comes to the practice, taking what is due for you, people will not want to give you by their will.
you will be hearing about aggressive revenue generation, aggressive income generation. I have said local government is a different tier of government, and they have their autonomy. I say autonomy with inverted comma. They have their autonomy. But when you talk about revenue generation, they have absolute autonomy. They have autonomy to generate and drive their own allotted revenue items. So talking about the Okada scenario you gave us now, I said we do not interface directly with the Okada riders, KWRS. We do not interface with them. We only drive that collection via their own association.
Is there a pressure on them?
Pressure on who?
On the association to meet his target? Because I don't know why a man who has a wife at home will
risk his
life to
ensure he gets
If there is a pressure at all, I would say it's a self-inflicted pressure by them. Because like I said, we gave them, they come for the receipts. And once they exhaust it, they come for another.
Is there a time limit for them to exhaust it?
No, not at all.
If I might come, let's look at beyond that. There's so many things happening. That ticketing model,
this 10,000 tickets, you must get it.
Nobody give them that
in 2 days.
target.
You see, let me tell you something. That ticketing model has helped to really take care of so many bad boys and take them off the street and for them to have legitimate source of livelihood. Don't lose focus of that. These guys will have, if you don't have that job doing,
They'll be disturbing
people. So that keeps them occupied. And an average kind of person they are dealing with, they know themselves. Them. We allow them to deal with them. An average Okada man does not want to pay anything. So it takes them to use their own strategies to ensure they get whatever they can get from their people. You understand? And they get paid for that job. The association also gets paid for that job. And the state too gets something from that.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Where the aggressiveness comes.
Yes.
The aggressiveness will come, like I said, the association also enlist agents. And those agents, they get their collection based on the amount of tickets they are able to sell per day. The agents.
So there's a commission
for them. So it's based on the amount they sold. We are not part of that. So it is between the agent and the association.
Are you the one giving pressure to the association?
I said I've not given any pressure. You see, how much are we getting from Okada? Like yesterday, I was telling there's this mobile advert. We have mobile adverts when you advertise on the car. So we have a revenue item for that. I was under pressure to renew the engagement yesterday. I said no, I will not reappoint the consultant, because the problem we have for last year from the transporters is enough. So I was telling them yesterday that we are ready to leave this item of revenue for next year. We wanted to renew for next year. I said no. So we are still under pressure. So if you can overlook advert mobile, I know every kobo matters, But any item of revenue that will garnish our name or give us problem. So the pressure is not from us. The pressure, maybe, if there's any, is because the agents want to get more pay for the whatever receipt is able to sell to the
I'm actually glad that you're able to clarify that, because most times I see that aggression, then I wonder if at all they remit this money they get. So much aggression, even putting their lives at risk. So I'm like,
the agent of the association.
Yeah, now let's talk about the various revenue authorities. Of course, we do know you have to deal with KWIRS, you have to deal with the local government, you have to deal with signage and all that, But let's take a look at how KWIRS is trying to ensure that you don't overburden Kwarans with all of these revenue we have to pay. FIRS, KWIRS, local government,
land charge,
signage, on street, this limited income that we have.
At a point in time, myself and director was in Lagos to discuss it. That why are people, the approach of Kwarans is not to pay the way we saw it. I think we discussed that matter. And like he said, you don't have business with FIRS if you don't have a limited liability company operating your business. No FIRS will come to you. Because you won't be bothered about company income tax, you won't be bothered about anything like VAT or whatever.
Okay.
And if you do not put signboard like we said, nobody will ask you to pay signage. If you know what I'm paying as tax, you pity me.
You have to set example.
Example. Because no, it's not about example, it's about the volume of the income. So that's why sometimes I get astonished when people say to come and pay 1.5. And I say, do you know what I pay monthly? Do you know what I pay monthly from my income? We are telling a company to pay, it's not 3 million. And it was as if everyone would say, I'm paying more than 3 million a year as my personal payee.
Payee?
Yes. So you will now see how if you are complaining, for example, what I want.
No, because
it is a function of my income.
Sure, definitely.
Now let's.
So don't you try to calculate your income?
No, he's talking about his global.
Global income.
Because your salary, like we always say, you have to also bring in everything.
I have plan B.
So actually, when you look at those three agencies you have said, if you look at the taxes and levies decree 21 of 1998, which was signed then by Absalom, former head of state. The decree actually spelled it out, the various levels of government.
Okay.
And the federal, I don't know, call them section 1 or what do you call it, legal manual. So 1 talks about the federal government and it gives you all what they're supposed to collect. The section 2 talks about the state government and what we're supposed to collect. Section 3 says the local government, what they are supposed to collect.
Okay.
These things are not hidden. And as a businessman, if you want to do business, I expect you to do a little more. You are not going to do everything yourself. You can get a consultant to do some things for you.
Okay.
Because the consultant will be able to do tax planning for you to see how you can save money and other things, how you can avoid legitimately some of those expenses. So what am I saying? It is the law. If you're operating in a particular section that has been federal in the law, and you operate under the federal government, you must pay these various taxes and levies. If you're under the state, like those people under our own jurisdiction, for instance, you must also pay all these parts. So the law allows multiple taxation. What we try to avoid is double taxation. So if you are charged a particular thing, like the personal income tax I charge, for local government now to come and say they want to also charge personal income tax, that is where we come in and say, no, The law does not allow you to do this. And we do a lot of that advocacy we make with the local government. And we ensure, because we have that responsibility to our taxpayers. We don't want to overburden any taxpayer. We don't want anybody to pay beyond what is supposed to pay and to go beyond what is the approved rate says. So that is that. So when you now say somebody a company, if you have a company, it's either you have it as an enterprise or you have it as a limited company. So if you have it as a limited company, you pay your tax to the federal government, your personal income tax. Do you understand? So it doesn't not say that we as Kwara State we not say come and pay your personal. No, that will amount to double taxation. We don't do that because the law says that particular line of income goes to the federal government. What we will now be concerned now would be the personal income tax of the individuals and of course the owner of that company too. Because what is their own personal income tax now comes to the same. So these items are well spread out in the law to ensure that we don't overburden our people. Yes.
Yeah, I think you need to do lots of enlightenment though, so people will understand the process.
Okay, ìbéèrè tí mi ma ẹni tí mo ti fẹ́ ta ní torí Mr. Shehu Abdullahi wà lẹ́yìn ló kàn ìbéèrè yẹn ẹ máa wò pé bóyá ó fọ́nì ìbáka torí èmi gan wò pé ó yẹ kí n béèrè náà ọ̀kan mi ká tó má béèrè náà kí ló fẹ́ béèrè sí àṣùgbọ́n pọn dandan kí n béèrè òun ni pé lára àwọn tẹ̀ ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ òṣìṣẹ́ ìjọba wà ń bẹ̀ àwọn tán nílé iṣẹ́ tán dá lé iṣẹ́ lẹ̀ àwọn ìyálọ́jà gbogbo tó ṣà ń ṣiṣẹ́ ìbéèrè mi wá ni pé ǹjẹ́ owó orí sísan ó yàtọ̀ àwọn tó jẹ́ olóṣèlú nítorí bí pátì kan ni ó wà ní gọ́fìmẹ̀ntì yóò sì nípa secretariat àárí signboard kìnìkan gbogbo ọdún kan yìí bí ìpolówó náà níṣẹ́ owó orí gbígbà dọ́dọ̀ wọn.
àwọn olóṣèlú àti party secretariat signage.
ẹ ṣe fún
ẹ rí i pé
ẹ máa bí sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn àwọn ọmọ tó ti scratch wà lọ́rọ̀ àwọn politician.
ẹ rí i pé under former administration wọ́n pè kí wọ́n ní voluntary asset and income declarations wọ́n pè VAD voluntary assets and income declaration scheme. Purposely àwọn olóṣèlú ni wọ́n gbé kíní ẹ̀ka lẹ́fún fún because wọ́n ti fọ́ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ wọn wọ́n sanwó orí wọ́n lókè you should come voluntarily to declare your assets and income wọ́n pè ní VAD scheme. Now olóṣèlú time tó máa ń ṣe à ń gba fọ́ọ̀mù nomination form wọn ẹ̀rí pé wọ́n máa ń béèrè fún TCC wọn tax clearance certificate. The idea is that òṣèlú or politics is not a vocation, it's not a profession. You must have a profession. You could be an engineer, you could be a lawyer, you could be a businessman. So when you can TCC for the last 3 years, go to profess nomination, also an income. So it better not determine whether a particular politician that is filing a nomination over tax compliance. Now talking about signage wọn àbí billboard wọn tí wọ́n ẹ máa rí i pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn stand yẹn belong to private sector àwọn stand tẹ̀ rí yẹn so ti but they now if you know ẹ rí i pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ tó bá kọ́ lẹ picture wọn mọ́ tó bá yà ní tẹ̀lé mímọ́ owó ẹ̀ ti lapse nìyẹn so wọ́n ń san owó fún pé wọ́n display because of an advertisement in a way so but tó lóṣèlú tó fi monitor owó tiwọn tó fi ń sanwó ni pé tábàtì ní káwá mú TCC wọn wá the TCC will now show your tax record for the last 3 years
tó ti ń ṣe ilé owó orí tó ti ń san.
báyìí tí kò bá wọlé bóyá gómìnà ló jẹ́ nísìnyí àbí honourable àbí senator sọ pé tó bá ti ń gba owó wọn máa yọ tax náà bẹ́ẹ̀ so in a way wọ́n sanwó.
so gómìnà àgbà sanwó orí. àwọn ọmọ ṣe gómìnà ó sanwó orí ṣe president ó sanwó orí.
ṣé tó ń gba salary.
mo fẹ́ fún àwọn ìyàwó ní àmọ̀ràn mo fẹ́ bẹ̀ wọ́n àwọn politician wa tẹ́ bá fẹ́ wá sí government ẹ fẹ́ take up political office tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ débẹ̀ tán ẹ fẹ́ control taxpayers money ẹ fẹ́ máa bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí jókòó lórí tẹ́ bá wà responsible àti máa sanwó orí ẹ bá fún yín ní moral justification àti fẹ́
dé. àti máa ná owó ẹ̀.
so àmọ̀ràn mi ni pé ẹ jọ everybody ká sanwó orí wa And our political parties were, because the last exercise, nomination exercise, I really work with most of the political parties. I ensure one somewhere, but actually, I want to continue somewhere. Most of these politicians.
Yes.
We have written as a service that collectors of our political association, people on share to share. We want to for nomination to somewhere. As a coach, you have to shit to come make sure pé one candidate one. But my this stage, in Nigeria, they do pass over here. Our tribunal going to be able to see some world in TCC. 195 at the back. We're going to get this country. Yes, because we are morally justified. We contest the governor of Kwara. I have some of them. We have people. I have the records. They need TCC, any tax clearance certificates. But because I think I was not for Kwara, I was lost it to me. Because I was somebody, I was somebody kidding it to me. Kwara, they left our governor. You are immorally justified. So a job, I know you are. They are responsible.
Okay. Kí n tún mú ìbéèrè léyìí wá, àmọ́ a fẹ́ tún fẹ́ dá wa padà díẹ̀ sẹ́yìn, ìgbà Ọlọ́run ní dá wa padà. Ìgbà tí ẹ̀ ń sọ̀rọ̀ lẹ́ẹ̀kan, ẹ jẹ́ ká mọ̀ pé kí èèyàn kó ní personal record tara ẹ̀ nípa bówó ṣe ń wọlé fún àbẹ́ fi lè mọ̀ pé ókè o iye báyìí ló ń wọlé iye owó orí tó san lélẹ̀. Mo ṣe mọ̀ pé ó máa ń ṣẹlẹ̀ kíká wo ọdún yìí ń sìn bóyá iye tó wọlé fún mi ó lè high kó tún di another year pé iye tó wọlé fún mi kó low. Báwo lẹ ṣe determine àárín yẹn?
Àti wọn fi ọ̀bẹ gbé.
Báwo lẹ ṣe determine ṣé ẹ̀sùn àwọn ebó ti fún wa ní ti last year yẹn àwọn ṣe é ṣe kó tún ga sí sẹ́mọ̀ bóun gangan ló mọ iye tó wọlé.
Bẹ́ẹ̀ tẹ́ pé la previous year turnover it says a high gan income very high ó san let's say 20,000 ọdún it says a wà lọlẹ̀ tàdé record ló tán it's a function of iye tó wọlé ni of course àwọn nígbà sanwó tó wà less than it to san last year. Tàbí wá rí pé from the records ó tàjọ last year lọ ó pọn dandan because is a rate I put a rate to a particular income. So the income yẹn bá jẹ́ ló máa determine tá bá apply rate ló máa determine amount of tax tó máa san.
So it is not fixed.
It's not fixed. It's not fixed.
But is it also not fixed for the those in the informal sector?
It's not fixed. It depends on the function. You know, the tax is a function of what you earn. It's just most times it's just way in the paid employment that you see that averagely if we don't really have much change in our salaries that you see that the whole thing is fixed for a whole let's say for a whole year if you don't have salary adjustment, increment and the rest. So what we try to do essentially is just to ensure that we bring in all your income. And here, don't just tell me because I come to your shop, you now declare only the money you earn from the sales of it's what the law says is your global income. What we mean by global income is you bring in everything. Maybe you have houses that you rented out, you are collecting rent, you bring them in. Everything that so I'll be able to determine what is your income, apply what we're going to give you as a set, what the law allows us to give you as considered living allowance, and then we apply this rate to what is left, and then we'll be able to determine what your tax liability is.
Mr. Ashir.
And then of course too, at this moment in time, I also want to implore our people to ensure that they do the right thing. The law says you must fill and declare whatever you have paid, especially for those people that are not in self-employed. All these people not in people that are in business and the rest. They can go to our site. Yes, declare, fill out form A. Tell us what. That's what we want you to do. On your own, tell us what you have earned. Do you understand? What you have earned, we'll calculate for you what you're supposed to pay based on that. But of course, we'll investigate. We'll investigate what you have declared. And that's the most crucial. Most people say, I've already filed my form A. This is my money. I must pay this. No. We have the right to look at what you have given to us, to ask for additional information, documents to ensure that what you have actually declared is the right thing. You didn't hide some of the income, you didn't tell us there's some other income. Because of course we also have departments that do investigation and other things. There are some things. Technology has taken over. I mean, people cannot hide anymore. We don't have any hiding place anymore. Some people have to bring one statement of account. They go and bring one statement of account that the main sales is not good. These days we have intelligence report who will tell you where your main money goes. Go and bring those statements of accounts. You need to come to equity with clean hands. Come and let us know exactly what you are in. If you cannot pay everything, just like you have said at once, you can tell you pay 50%. The other ones can now. But the idea of you now trying to hide away from what you're supposed to pay is criminal.
Because ibi tí mo fẹ́ lọ náà nìyẹn kó tó di pé máa dáhùn padà sí ọ̀rọ̀ tó sìn báyìí bá ti ṣiṣẹ́ tán ní ẹ̀ka tiyín àmọ́ pé ẹ̀ka tiyín ni ó determine pé ok o ti sọ fún wa iye tí ó ń wọlé fún ẹ iye tí owó orí ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́ lélẹ̀ tó ti wá rí bẹ́yẹn tẹ́nìyẹn wá ní pé sam mi ò iye tẹ́ ẹ sọ yìí mi ò lè san sẹ̀ tẹ́ ẹ sáà bá sọ gbọ́ ẹ sáà pé sam mi ò lè san iye yẹn iye tá a san òun lélẹ̀ tí ó dẹ̀ bá òfin mu tẹ́yìn ò dẹ̀ faramọ́ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ẹ̀ka òfin kí lòfin ní ká ṣe nírú àárín yẹn.
Okay, irú ẹni báyìí a máa classify rẹ̀ as recalcitrant taxpayer.
kílẹ̀ ẹ sọ tó.
mi pé lérí kunkun taxpayer tó lérí kunkun báyìí ti lérí kunkun.
tọ́lá nǹkan bẹ́ẹ̀ tán lágídí.
tó wọ́n bá wa bẹ́ẹ̀ so ẹni tó bá ti lérí kunkun the first thing wọ́n máa mú fáìlì wá sọ́dọ̀ tèmi ni eléyìí o àwọn lérí kunkun taxpayer lélẹ̀.
gbogbo àtúwọ̀n bẹ́ẹ̀ àṣẹ ó ṣàfàlì gánà.
So the law says I should write him. Okay. I should give him notice of intention to prosecute him. So you pay 7 days. Wait, 7 days. We are prosecuting you, and the government of the day has done well. Okay. What the normal judicial process? So we have a designated court, revenue court, GRA. So we are blessed with about 11 magistrates dedicated to revenue cases. And there's a revenue court law that says that every revenue matter must be adjudicated. Case number gbé fún adájọ́ yẹn ó gbọ́dọ̀ parí within 30 days. So ẹ tá bá ti fún ní notice tí ó dẹ̀ san ní 7 days a máa meet ara ní court and we have standby revenue lawyers wọ́n bá a ṣe. So kò sí wàhálà.
Okay, tó fi sọ òun náà ni
so the person can actually go to jail because it's a criminal offence.
He has an option. He has an option. He has an option because any conviction is a conviction. So once you are an ex-convict, so he has complication. And you can be an ex-convict for not paying 1.5. So it's your choice either to pay. And most time, 95% of people, once they receive that notice, they opted to.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen, for joining us on the show this morning. And just before we go, what will be your messages? Let me take it one after. I know that you have strong message, of course. But what will be your whole message to clients?
First and foremost, I want to thank our taxpayers. We have some very wonderful taxpayers. We want first of all thank all our taxpayers for doing the needful. But our message is we want to get to the level of voluntary tax compliance. We want to get to that. We know it's not easy, but we need to change the orientation of people. We want to get guys see that people voluntarily file their annual reports. Not just filing it, they file the correct amount. Pay the amount, pay whatever it is they're supposed to pay on time. Stop trying to dodge and not just trying not to do the right thing. So that's just the main thing. One of the reasons why we're here. We want people to also embrace our automation, the things we have been able to do in this to make it easier for them. The comfort of your room, you can go to our self-service portal, you can do so many things there. Get your settlement listed, make tax administration very easy for you. Ensure you avoid, and when you do that, you avoid third party. We do things directly. We are very conscious of time and our turnaround time. We don't joke with it. It's the standard in the service. We want to ensure that we answer our taxpayers, properly. So take advantage of this. Do the right thing. Pay all the taxes and rates you're supposed to pay the government, so that the government also can have funds, to provide so many things that we're asking the government to do. And I'm so happy. Some of those money we've collected from the informal sector. You can see His Excellency Governor Brahma Brazak gave a grant of 200 million to 4,000 artisans. 4,000. And I'm so happy part of this audition was you must have evidence that you have been paying taxes. Yes. And we're not beginning to see influx of so many people now. So people have been, it's a way of government is also giving back for the
people. But to me,
I'm sorry I'm not the final process of people. I would say they should give priority to those who have been paying willingly. Because the way of paying them back. And so there are so many social intervention some programs that the state government is doing now to ensure people do, get, the benefits of government. And the little we can do too is to support government by ensuring that we do our own part of the bargain and pay our taxes.
All right, so we can't take your message again, but let me give you just 30 seconds.
The message is simple. Well, in 2 months' time, we'll be doing our annual payee workshop, where we remind business owners of filing their returns. The implication is that for every limited liability company that fails to file its returns as at 31st January,
Yes.
it's a straightforward conviction, and it's 500,000 fine. So people that has business should ensure that they engage consultants. You can engage tax consultant lawyers to do the filing for you, because just do the filing and you escape this liability. But failure to file within the stipulated time is 500,000.
Individuals 50,000.
Aside from the conviction, you'll be convicted and you still pay fine. So why not pay in the right time?
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Our time is really fast spent. I'm sure by the last time we'll have the last leg of this series. We'll be talking about how did we come about, an increment in, and of course, in the revenue generation that is coming to be seen. But today, this is where we'll draw the curtain for the show. Thank you very much, Mr. Shewa Abdullahi. He is, of course, the Director of Legal and Compliance, Kwara State Internal Revenue Service. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And of course, also Mr. Mohammed Usman, Director of Income Tax, KWIS. Thank you very much for joining us.
It was a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for being here.
àlejò wa ẹ ṣe ẹkú ìdílé tó ẹ máa bá wa tẹ náà tètè.
Láti lọ tẹ̀ lánàá ní house.
ẹ sì máa ṣe àṣeyọrí ẹ ṣe gan.
All right, so this is where we wrap up the show for today. Very big thank you to all our viewers for joining us on Star Times 113 Free TV 502. On behalf of Fatima Mohammed, on behalf of Suleiman Amuda and Oniyola Bakari, we say join us again tomorrow when, of course, we'll bring to you fresh editions of the AM Drive. Coming up by 12 p.m. is the news at midday. By 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. we'll bring to you more news stories and bulletin for your very pleasure. Continue to watch Kwara State Television on Star Times 113 Free TV 502. We are live on Facebook, we're on satellite, we're on YouTube. All of these platforms is where you can get to watch some of the beautiful programs for your viewing pleasure. My name is Tosin Adeoye. I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye bye.
What a wise government would do is not to raise tax at this time, but to widen the tax that you want to capture as many people as possible. And we have seen that happen over the past 3 years. Indeed, what we have seen has been very huge.
Kwara State Internal Revenue Service is a major part, is actually a core part of our budget preparation system, because the function of their contribution to the state finances in terms of the internally generated revenue forms a large part of our decision-making system into ensuring implementation of our budget over the course of the year.
Most of the reforms we're doing is to get to that system, to that level, when people can just willingly and say, yes, this is what I've earned. And the law says, if I've earned something, I should pay this. So whatever we're doing, we are moving towards that level.
Iṣẹ́ àlejò nìkan lówó orí sísan tọ́ sí, àtonílé àtàlejò ló lẹ́tọ̀ọ́ láti máa san owó orí.
ẹ̀kúnrẹ́rẹ́ àlàyé ẹ kàn sí wa ní nọ́mbà 27 Amadu Bello Way GRA Ìlọrin tàbí lọ́fíìsì wa tó wà ní gbogbo ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ káàkiri ìpínlẹ̀ Kwara. ẹ tún lè kàn sí wa lórí wẹ́bsáìtì www.kwi-irs.com tàbí kẹ́ ẹ tẹ àtẹ̀jíṣẹ́ lórí ímeèlì wa helpdesk@kwi-irs.com tó fi mọ́ àwọn ẹ̀rọ alátagbà gbogbo lẹ́ẹ̀ tí lè kàn sí wa. ẹ sì tún lè pe tẹlifóònù nọ́mbà yìí 070-0695-9477. Play your part, pay your tax.
Kópa tirẹ̀ sanwó orí rẹ̀.
Ìkéde ìwà látọwọ́ Kwara State Internal Revenue Service KWIRS.